Yo. Halfd0rk's here. Welcome in, everybody. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome, welcome. How are we doing today? So, hate to break it to you all, but VOX was first. By the way, V, I saw you got land in the recent location. And, yeah, I'm checking out some plots near you. But, congrats on that. Fashul's here. Hi, Fashul. Welcome. Radcon Dad, how are you? Play game for fun. Welcome. Jayon, hi. Good evening from Bangkok. Tom Voxel, how you doing? Good morning. Welcome in, everybody. Council got something. Radcon Dad, would you be able to send me a link of the... I was going to ask, and I can if you don't have it, but whichever one they did buy, because that's definitely something I would want to be buying land from. But I put in a lowball bid for something. I was checking out the OpenSea second sale, and everything in the last like 2 minutes bumped up to about 1,800 sand, which is still a decent price. 1,800 sand if we just did some quick math. Quick math. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, Blue Tulip's here. How's it going? 2 months in a row. Thank you, Blue Tulip. Much appreciated. Fred and Ferd, good morning to you. Welcome. Paul, how's it going? Feeling tipsy, Paul? Mr. Furious X, good May. Welcome, welcome. My stream lagged right when you said cock. Conrad, if you know the land, like if you have a link. Blue Tulip buying a coin, too. Thanks, Blue Tulip. Much appreciated. So, I have updated my coin calculating system. It's doing better now. But I will be adding Blue Tulip to that list. Thank you, Blue Tulip. For sure. Ooh. Hey, 45k. What else could you buy? You could save up for VIP. That's a limited quantity. Now, oak staves, you could also buy with 3 coins. So if you have 3 coins, Fashul, which I can check to see if I owe you any real quick, because I got my list up. Currently, I owe you 1. So if you... Depends on how you want to balance it. Thank you, Conrad. We'll take a quick look at this. Thank you, comrade. I much appreciate it. Oh, shit. I mean, excuse me. That was the one I thought you guys were going to buy. Hell yeah. And V, if you're listening, your land is right next to this. So I should probably up my bid on the other land. But yeah, thank you, Conrad, for sharing that. Oh, am I really gonna FOMO right now? Am I gonna FOMO? I don't want to FOMO. Good neighborhood, right? Oh, going for VIP. Let's go for sure. Escape from Artist, welcome in. How's it going? Good May. Oh, interesting. G to the M. Well, I've been keeping my eye on a particular piece of land, and now that you guys have confirmed that, I might have to buy it. Yikes. Yikes. Uh-oh. Hey everybody, welcome in. How you doing? We're just getting started here. Line of D's. Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, exactly, V. That's very exciting. The price kept climbing, yep. All the bidding. Escape from Artist, how high did it go? Because I stopped looking at it when it was at 1800. Huh. Okay, so my sand's still there. My sand wasn't showing up for a second. I was a little bit worried. Just a little bit. I need to convert some ETH. But OpenSea's having a heart attack. Voxel Artist. Boop, 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 boop. But yeah, welcome in everybody. Today, I wanted to explore checkpoints a little bit, and we're also going to continue working on our dial. I republished the new animations, so that should be beneficial. Do I FOMO or not to FOMO? That is the question. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna FOMO until I make this choice. Alright, everybody. You guys get to do a poll to help me out. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm FOMOing about, but you'll know. Also, welcome in, OG Shakespeare. How were the bumper cars and the marbles races? Looks like you guys are having fun with the collision boxes. No FOMO. Woo! Alright, so you all here in chat right now get to tell me to FOMO or not. And I should have known. Okay. You guys are very helpful, thank you. Oh, looks like it's actually a decent yes-no ratio now. Hey, Sparky's here. Good morning, Sparky. Hobble Hill, good morning to you. Ross Guru, boop, boop, goop. Mesquita, how you doing? Vision X, what's happening? You bought the 3x3, congrats, dude. Vision X, it's worth mentioning the FOMO is for land right next to you guys, also next to VVox. And now that I'm announcing it, I'm FOMO even more because people are listening. So, FOMO on what? It's a 1x1. Yeah, welcome in, Joe. OG, to beer or not to beer. Wicked, you too, good morning. What? Woke Zombie, what's happening? 50-50. Don't make it 50. Oh my god. Okay, FOMO's winning. FOMO's winning. Panda Pops, did you get lucky with any of these land sales? Gee whiz, good morning. Welcome in, everybody. FOMO immediately. Wait, you changed your... Let's see what I can do here. I have to convert some crypto. Gotta convert that crypto. Sand, that is. Oh, okay. Is there an easy way to wrap my ETH? Thought there was. Like, it's unfortunate I can't buy this land right now without sand. With my sand, I should say. You can wrap... I'm looking at my wallet and it's not allowing me... Could have sworn there was a way. I'm gonna do a quick couple searches here. Intermission, sorry. Wrap ETH. Oh, I think I have to have ETH first. That's why. That makes sense. Takes a while to breathe. Yeah, right now it's all on Polygon, which is nice. Because that's the OpenSea selection is all on Polygon. If you were trying to buy the second sale that Sandbox was hosting, that actually was on Ethereum, which was kind of annoying. All right. I'm making bad choices, don't you guys worry. But we're gonna let that happen in the background. And yeah, damn sand over Polypanda says. Did that yesterday? Ah, I gotcha. Oh, thank you, Ross Guru. 35 minutes. Oh, geez. I prefer Uniswap, personally. I should have been doing this, like, before the stream, so I apologize. But yeah, we're just hanging out. Also, I'm, like, drinking coffee, so I have, like, jitters, and I'm FOMOing. I'm FOMOing at the mouth. Wait. Aw, did you really? That's hilarious if you did buy it, Panda. But don't. But don't. Because I'm literally converting stuff. Panda's lying. Panda's lying, everybody. Getting real hard to convert stuff right now. First swap I tried failed. Just trying to save you monies. Aw, thanks, Panda. You're so nice. Looks like it's going through. Hi, Lula Love 9. Good morning. Welcome in. So today, the first thing I wanted to do in our day of productivity was work on checkpoints. This is something that Garnikin had asked us for. So that's going to be our first thing we do here in the sandbox. No way! Yes way. But I'm also FOMOing. I'm FOMOing. Cool. Transaction submitted. Confirmed. $1.1 ETH. I did want to confirm that you guys bought that land, and the fact that you did, I made a rash decision, and I went ahead and purchased the land that is literally adjacent to the council, the 3x3, and adjacent to VVox here in chat. So I didn't want to risk it, and I put in a bid this morning for 2,000 sand, which was like almost $300 cheaper than what I just now paid for it. Yep, VVox is literally right next to us, Vision X. Like, this is a meant to be. So I went ahead and sprung for it. And yeah, I'm right next to the council and VVox. I'm very happy with this purchase. It is worth mentioning that the one to the south of me, which is also touching Sandbox land and touching me, is currently on auction. So if anybody wants to peep it and consider it, maybe even drop a bid on it. So this one is still up for grabs. I might consider it. I would have to move a lot of sand around in order to buy it. So I hope one of you considers it, or at least lowballs a bid on it. Right now, they are asking for a lot, but it is up for sale. That one's right to the south. Can't hear the memes. Ooh. Thank you, Halfd0rk. I appreciate that. It's because I muted him. It is a bit expensive. Yes, it is. Yeah, Vision X, I couldn't agree more. Now VVox is stuck with us until she sells her land. But yeah, that was my risky FOMO purchase of the day. So, time to hibernate my sand. Hey! No sales ever. That's my biggest concern right now, is selling the land I already have. Basically, I think I'm losing money, so I don't have to pay as much as on taxes from what I spent on it. But yeah, that's kind of annoying. So today, this morning, we're going to set up a checkpoint system just to kind of like demonstrate how checkpoints work. I'll probably make a video on it today. So that's something you all can look forward to, I suppose. We're going to have two interacts that'll give us two options for checkpoints. So we're going to start and then build off of that. So that's how we're going to set up checkpoints, is with a respawn mechanic on the player. But yeah, thank you Vision X, aka Joseph, for popping in and confirming. Conrad also confirming that you guys purchased that land. I did want to make sure before I FOMO'd that was the one you guys bought. Cool. So first thing we're going to do, let's have a couple extra assets just in case we need them. And then I'm going to set up a health controller on the player. So this is in the global parameters section. Components. Yo, Vox Machina. Hey, Voxmaker Mark. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well.
All probing on the
Probing on request.
Voxmaker Mark. That should be your catchphrase.
Vox Machina.
Of
Vox
course,
Machina.
Vox Machina's done something like this.
Of course. So, respawn to tag. This is the key here for checkpoints. We're going to have the respawn tag set as the default. That's capital C checkpoint. And the death delay will do a negative. So the difference here, and something I like to, reiterate, is if it's a 0-second death delay, it plays the death animation, which is the character falling over, bleh, dying. Now, if you have it as a negative number, the death is instantaneous. It skips that death animation. So, for now, I'll go ahead and demonstrate it. We'll do 0 to start. Instant death message. This kill is the default. Now, every asset also uses kill as its default. If you want to customize it, which I recommend you do, we're going to do kill.avatar. Because that way we can add a chain of events that won't potentially disrupt other chains or other characters that are using that same default kill command. Of course, you can also target messages specifically with tags, but this is kind of like an extra safety. Now, message sent on death, this could be useful, so we might revisit this. For example, like I could send 2 tags to another checkpoint to kill it. So we're probably going to revisit that one. Lastly, and I can see here it's we can actually add multiple tags here. I think this is a relatively 0.8 new feature. So if I wanted to communicate with different tags. But blocks damage, we're going to do 2000 on lava. So lava is going to damage us if we touch it. I'll go ahead and put a pool to my left and my right. And maybe just my right. So, checkpoints. The original checkpoint is going to be our spawn point, just by default. Garnikin! Welcome in! Garnikin, we're talking about checkpoints. I know you asked about it. Is that stunnable toggle working? Paul, I think it requires some testing, but I don't think so. I'll go ahead and enable it, though. This is just default on health components, so I don't think it works. That means somebody has to parry me or interrupt my attacks, but I don't think that's currently possible. And I'm sure you know what I mean, Paul. Like, I don't think enemies can parry our attacks, nor can they interrupt us. I think we as the player have an unfair advantage. So, with our checkpoints here, we have 2 interacts, so I'm going to set these up on our signs. So we'll use buttons just because it's a little bit more simple. So we're going to use the button behavior, and that's going to send out interact.1. I'm going to duplicate this, move it to the right. That's going to be interact.2. Now, both of our tiles here are going to be our spawn points. So what we'll do is, and there's actually several ways we can do this. So I'm going to show you the easy, simple way to set it up. We're going to do a asset spawner. Now that asset spawner, the first thing I would recommend is making a preset. So before we make a preset, let's make something simpler. So we're going to do asset to spawn, and we'll spawn a tile. That tile is going to have a checkpoint tag. Now, if I'm spawning this with the checkpoint tag, that automatically overwrites our spawn point. let's go ahead and double check. I'll make sure this has no collisions. And then finally, message required is interact.1. So that's going to be our button, which we'll be able to see it spawn our tile in front of us. Cool. So this has the checkpoint tag. So now if I die, it's going to spawn me on top of it. Perfect. So now let's make this one work. So same situation here. Make it spawn on the opposite side, flipping the z-axis. So this will spawn on interact.2. So, with this second checkpoint, it's interacting. And we spawn on top of it, so we know it works. However, if there's two active at the same time, it's going to go for the closer one. So that's why I should probably have lava on the other side. But the key here is we can now add a kill switch. So that kill command, let's go ahead and use a plant behavior. Now, plant behaviors, by default, have the automatic, and this is what we mentioned in the health component, by default, kill. So just kill on its own. So let's go ahead and remove that. And now, in these default asset spawner settings, we can add extra checkpoints or extra tags. But before we do that, I think what we're going to attempt to do and see how well it works is add that default kill so that when we die, when the player dies, it's going to send to every checkpoint a kill command. So the problem with this, and I guess I can demonstrate it, is it's going to kill whatever checkpoint we've already made. The benefit to this, as you can see, I already spawned on it before it killed it. So, okay, this one did not respawn. Or did not die. So let's take a quick look at that. Oh, that's because we didn't add the plant behavior. So now it should reset, and frankly, that works. What we can do now is we can essentially remove this function, these buttons, and we can add like a detector on each one of these that will respawn the checkpoint every single time that we come close to it. So let's go ahead and add a new item that will be our detector. So for the sake of demonstration, we'll use a box. The box is going to send out that same inner message when we get close to it. Yeah, Garnikin, we just got started. So, if you have questions, Garnikin, I know this was something that you were asking for specifically, so please, yeah, feel free to ask. I'll try to cover all the bases, though, so no pressure. So interact.1, and this is going to be specifically targeting us, the avatar. And so that's going to be any time that we step in to the circle. So we're going to make the circle smaller. So it's kind of like a Sonic the Hedgehog checkpoint where we get close to it. Now we're going to continue to find new problems as we build on this, and that's a good thing. So for example, by having two checkpoints, whichever one I'm closest to is where I'm going to respawn. But what we can do is every time a new one spawns, we can delete the other ones. So that's what we're going to build up to. And that's probably how we'll end this, brief tutorial. Cool. So this one's going to be interact.2. So much like our sign, that's the message that's going to spawn the checkpoint. And it's going to do it every time we enter in to this yellow space. Same with this one. I'll just shrink the yellow space a bit. And it's sending out interact.1, which is what we saw spawned our checkpoint. So we can just test it real quick. Right now I'm defaulting to the normal spawn point. If I get close, it's going to spawn me in this one. And because of how we set up that death, every time we die, it's going to remove that. Same with this one. Now, the key that we've already kind of like made is it's going to respawn one as soon as we die and also kill the previous one. So that's actually super convenient. So it's working as intended right now. So it basically kills the previous one and then respawns a new one every time we get close. However, the new problem that we've created is if I approach a different one. So if I approach a different one, it's going to still spawn me at the closest one to wherever I died. Now, what we can do is when a new checkpoint spawns, that same message can also trigger the kill for a previous one. Now, there's several ways we can do this. We can make presets that automatically have it, and I think that would be the best way to approach this. So that's what we'll do. So now we're getting into presets here. All we need is a plant, and honestly, I think that's it. We can remove collisions from it. But you can see here, I've added a tag checkpoint, and this one, we're going to do C1. Message to destroy it, we will do interact.2. So if we're looking at it left to right, this is interact.1, and this one's interact.2. Now I added that C2 tag for, or C1 and or C2. This might be useful in the future. Right now, we're not actually using it. Now, this one is spawning on interact.2, so that means, you guessed it, interact.1 will kill it. So, now that we have these set up, we'll do tile C2, or I guess more specifically, checkpoint tile C1. This one will be checkpoint tile C2. So I'll go ahead and save these as presets, and then we can delete them. And so now we'll do the use preset toggle, and we'll choose that preset we just made. Same here. Cool. So now, if we set up everything correctly, if I step on one and then the other, it'll delete the previous one. Again, this one, when I die, is being automatically reset. So it's like reappearing, which is pretty convenient. I don't think it's necessary now that we've set up that we can kill the previous one if we step on a new one. But this would be consistent. So we can't complain here. Now, to take it one step further, we could have it to where these are always spawning. So right now you can see that there's a brief delay before it spawns a new one. Basically when this chat bubble goes away. Now we could take it a step further, and if I were to approach this, we could have it reset itself. That would be like very niche situations. But yeah, overall that's a checkpoint system. That's pretty much all you need. Find last save. Missing on open. Uh-oh, Sparky. Suddenly empty. Yeah, I'm no good with VoxEdit backups. Although every time VoxEdit updates, I usually copy-paste my folder. Luckily, VoxEdit files are pretty small. Write that down. Write that down. But yeah, Garnikin, I think that'll be the wrap up for this checkpoint system. We can explore other alternatives if you'd like.
Write that down, write that down!
Just annoying? Yeah, Sparky. I feel that. I feel that. Okay, so that was our brief tutorial. Now, before I move on, is there any way we can simplify this even further or complicate it in a way that makes sense for us? Maxi, what's happening? Welcome in. Now, one thing I wanted to start doing, and this might be a good opportunity, is I wanted to make a preset that when I drop it is essentially like a teleportation control room. So I want to be able to spawn wherever my asset, spawning point is, and then just drag and drop this preset onto the map directly on top. And basically it'll be like a circle of interactables that when I touch one, it'll teleport me, let's say, to level 1. This one will teleport me to level 2, level 3, and level 4. And then I can have this control kind of like sphere, whatever I want to call it, as a easy way to get around without having to move my spawn point. So thinking about that, we would use this same system here. And I would essentially have like an asset spawner on each of my levels that is waiting for that specific input. And then that would send out a series of messages. First one would spawn the checkpoint, second one would kill the player. And then that's also going to have the same checkpoints, so level 1, 2, 3, and 4, like teleporters right next to it. So it's kind of like a shortcut for when I'm deving. I'm deving. Game deving. So that's something I wanted to build just for every game that I make, because that'll help me get around, I think. Dev doors. Yeah, Fred, doors are a good good asset for that too. I mean, using imagination. Ideally, they're also kind of in the way. Seems interesting, though. We could even use the door behavior, and that would actually work rather well because it's sending out a message when it opens. It actually doesn't matter. But I like the idea of using a door. Yeah, Fred, I had a system in place, but this one is definitely more optimized, in my mind at least. Like, my teleport system to get around has always been like thrown together. So this one will be a little more structured. Do I have any numbered? Oh yeah, this would actually be very convenient. Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna throw this together. Just because we're thinking about it. We're working with checkpoints. So this is gonna spawn around me. This is going to be our parent, so everything's going to be attached to this. We'll do underscore, so this should alphabetically put it in the top of my presets, which is what I want. So we'll do underscore Teleporters. Teleports. Let's go ahead and make a preset. Oh, it did not show at the bottom, at the top. How does that alphabetically work? So it'd be the last one. Okay, what about asterisks? Okay, asterisk puts it at the front, so we'll use that. So, let's go ahead and put these out. All go clockwise. And I don't think we'll make 5, but I'll have 5 set up. No, we'll just do 4. This will be star 1. This will be star 2, star 3, and star 4. Alright, so each one of these is going to be sending out a message. Now, we could use the door behavior. There's not necessarily a reason to. It'll go everywhere. And if we're opening it, we can actually relay a message, which is kind of cool. So basically, I can interact with it, sending out a message. That message can then ping something. Let's just say, for example, my asset spawner that spawns the checkpoint. Then, when that checkpoint has spawned, it'll ping back with a message that would then kill the player. So let's go ahead and try that. I think that might be fun. So we'll do kill.avatar, which we already set up, as the close message, so when it pings back to us. Then we need to set up the ping messages. So we're going to use this one, and I like the cages. This reminds me of Minecraft, so I use these for fun. But an iron cage represents an asset spawner. Although, it's not really necessary. So instead, I think your best option for your own reference is a spawn point, or you make your own asset, such as my asset spawner, or of course use the new logic circle in 0.8. For this, I'll go ahead and use a spawning point. I'm going to put it in its own little corner here. So this is going to be where the player spawns. Now I'm going to have my logic here spawn something on top of it, just kind of like hidden. I mean, I can simplify this a lot more. So I'll remove this for now. Instead, we're going to be spawning that. So it's going to be a checkpoint. So this is going to be our CP1, I think. So we already did C1, C2, C3, C4. So I'll do C1, why not? So we're going to make this a preset that spawns out of our character here. And then we're also going to set up plant behaviors for each one of these. The plant behavior, I'm interacting with this door. So that door sends out a message. What message do we want to kill other checkpoints? So we'll do teleport .c1. So that'll be when I interact with it. Now, we're also going to have a ping, so it's going to ping back. So this will essentially be detected over here when it spawns. So our first logic asset is going to be a detector, which is a message component, and it's also spawning right here. So we'll have a speaker and an asset spawner, so it's sending out a message. So that message, it's detecting C1. So when it detects C1, we want it to send out a message pinging back to our door. So this will be door, or just to make it even more easy to understand, we'll do teleport c1.close. Now, this could also kill the player, so I could skip the whole door shenanigans if I wanted to. Yeah, I'm actually adding an extra message here that I don't need. So I think we could skip that first door message. So for now, let's skip it. So instead, it'll send out the kill avatar message. Cool. So basically, when it spawns, sends out the kill avatar message. Easy enough. So that means this one here will then die on other teleports. So for now, we'll set up 2. So we'll do teleport C2, teleport C1. So this one dies on C2. Then we're going to make one over here. That is the opposite. So it has the C2 tag. And it dies when we teleport to C1. Great. Watch out for creepers, right? Okay, so now we have the asset spawner. We'll do teleport dot C2 for this one. So that's going to spawn this that we've just made. We don't want it to rotate. That would actually cause some problems. But when it detects C2, it's going to send out the kill avatar. Alright, cool. That looks good. We'll make sure this rotation's also off. Because that would cause this to maybe spawn on the opposite side. Which might be fun. Because if I spawn off the map, because it's going to rotate. I'm going to test that, because that sounds interesting. So this one will be C1. Cool, and then we'll just save these presets. So this will be teleport.c1. This will be teleport.c2. Alright, so now we'll add those to our presets. Alright, and then we can test this. Last thing I would do is add that same behavior here. And for now, I suppose we'll just use the door because that's what we're using. That second message I don't need at the moment, but maybe I'll need it in the future. So we'll do all, message on open, teleport.c2. It's fun to test this, but definitely something I could add to every game as a dev. Cool. So, first things first, it's not spawning me over here, and I already know why. It's because my presets don't have checkpoint on them. They only have the C1 and C2. So that's teleport. So neither of these had the checkpoint tag. It always feels good when you know why it didn't work. Most times it's not. Because I'm like, why are you breaking? But now we know. Try again. Cool, so that's gonna kill me. Yeah, and it killed me because it detected that the teleporter spawned. So we used a relay message. Is that gonna mess things up? Probably. I gotta move these boxes. And we can just delete them for now. Fun little test, I suppose. So we'll do checkpoint 1. Now every time I die, it's also going to spawn it. And it's not going to kill me randomly. So it's already detected that that checkpoint's there. But if I go to a different checkpoint, it's killed me and then respawn that one. And then also remove this one. Now if I respawn on this one, it's now pointing off the map. So it looks like it's not able to spawn an asset off the map. Which is fun, I suppose. Oh. Hello. What do I do? 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 VOX got retweeted? VOX got retweeted?
Line of D's.
Line of D's. Make out of bounds map book zombie. Now we're talking. Alright, well I'll try jumping off. So I think this goes for infinity. So what are my other options here? I have a wall. Oh, I don't think it's on this account though. Woohoo! So we'll see what happens if I put this down. Basically, if you have a pivot point on a tall object, the bottom of it only has to be on the land. So we can have assets outside of the land. So we'll move this over. And then my lava pool, I'll also just add closer. Woohoo! Or is it a real pad? Did you just respawn? So the pad, Garnican, is the checkpoint. So it's, you do have to have an asset, and it could just be a logic circle if you prefer. I was using the pad and the spawning point in place of a logic circle. that just simply had a plant behavior and the checkpoint tag. And in this case, I have 2 checkpoints, so one was C1 and one was C2. And then those were being spawned from my asset spawner. So my asset spawners, I used a simple logic asset, and it has an asset spawner behavior and a speaker component that detects the asset that it just spawned. And when it detects the asset that it just spawned, it kills the player. Which I'm gonna, for demonstration, take this to a negative number. And now it should no longer play the death animation when the character dies. So now it's instantaneous. Great. And so the way I had this set up is using the rotation on my asset spawner. It just rotated to face me, but it had an opposite offset. So now the offset for the spawn point is outside. So if I spawn a new checkpoint and then spawn that first checkpoint again, it looks like it takes... Oh, because we used the door. It took an extra click. So now, if I walk... Oh my gosh! We can keep building, guys! We can have assets outside the land! And we can walk on them. I don't know why that's so exciting, but it is. I can have land outside my land. That is great. Yep, Fred knows. Fred knows. So I'm literally outside my land. I'm in somebody else's property right now. Hey, Caratros, what's up? The penalty box. Ooh, that could be fun. Yeah, Fred. It's like the spectator side. Little Legion. Yeah, new secret areas. Yeah. However, if you do fall off, so if I just kept walking, that's endless death. So I can't spawn kill blocks outside of it. But what we could do is just simply have an asset that we build in Vox Edit that has a barrier already attached to it. One thing I might try...
Halfd0rk are out of bounds.
Out of bounds. I shay. So, I remember we tried this before. Oh yeah! I think I showed you guys this. So, what you can do, and this is a fun little trick. So I'm going to have 4 stacked walls. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to rotate them. Put them against the wall. So against the invisible wall. Then rotate them back. And we can see here, it's outside now. However, if I move at all, it's going to reset them. But it does keep that same orientation before you move them again. So we'll put these now parallel to the ground, rotate it out, and then I'm not going to touch these two. Instead, we'll rotate one of these out. And now we have our little penalty box. Let's go ahead and try it. See if it works. Keep forgetting what buttons to push. No! Yes! And yeah, both of these do work with collisions. So you can have like a jail cell, I suppose. Just like real life, you gotta be careful with those bushes. So this is fun. How could you use this? Like, what are some practical uses for this? One by one just got bigger. Way too big, Fred. It does take a lot of setup, though. and some game dev knowledge, like, from what I've shared and what you've seen on screen, you'll be able to recreate it, of course. Spectator stands? Yeah, for sure. Extension plates. My first practical use for this was to create environment. So, for example, there was actually someone who made a great sample of, like, dunes. So think of the desert where you have, like, sand mounds that extend often into the distance. That person used a lot of these techniques where the pivot point allowed them to place the literal bottom of the asset on the, the edge of the land, and then those dunes would stretch out and into the distance. Now, that's one practical application, is making environments. Now, I'm curious if my asset spawner already can spawn outside. So let's turn my second asset spawner and then just push it out just by default. So it looks like I didn't have to, like, respawn my spawner in order to do that. So you can just have an asset spawner with an offset off the land. So you don't have to do any of that extra stuff that I was doing, such as making it turn to face me. I imagine that's going to get patched. Now, that also tells me that we can just spawn environment without really needing any extra steps, because it looks like this can just go out. The core takeaway here is, like, the player can spawn on a checkpoint out there. That's, like, the big, like, breakthrough we found. Oh, what the heck? I can't get back on the land. So that's an important distinction. There's no invisible wall there. So once you're off the land, it looks like we'll need to have a way to get back on. And I can't spawn this interactable right there specifically. But we can use that same technique we talked about, where all you have to do is have two assets. Yeah, two is all you need. And you push them to a wall. So in this case, because the perpendicular wall is that side, I would then rotate them. And now it's outside the field. So let's see what else we can do. I want to duplicate that. And we're going to make the perpendicular wall, the one we've been working on, rotated outside. Then I can delete this wall. Now, I can't spawn damaging assets or anything that will touch the player outside the land. But this asset, if I rotate it, I can rotate it out of bounds, which is kind of cool. So I can rotate these without being reset. But if I move it, it's going to reset it back onto the land. So moving resets, rotation does not. So you can literally just keep building. Like, you can have, like, a bridge to nowhere. That's cool. Yeah, and Fred, that's what I'm thinking too, the telly. Woke Zombie, I don't doubt it with, and this is just me being realistic, there's not a lot of sandbox streamers, so I don't doubt that one of the devs tunes in from time to time. Yeah, this is a cool discovery for sure. So, with our second spawn point, we'll come back. So let's go ahead and test that. So we'll have the first one. Oh, I used the wrong teleporter. So this one we no longer need here. This is our second spawn point, which goes to this location. So I need this one to be facing outside. And then I also don't want it to have the look at target on. Cool, so that puts me here. So yeah, we can teleport on and off our land. That's so cool. Oh, man. We can just keep going. We can just keep going. But yeah, there's an invisible wall here, so I have to teleport to get back. You can walk amongst the clouds. If you glitch out from the top of the map, can you still not get picked up? From the top of the map? Let's find out. So we'll do... yeah, sure, we'll do 1. We're going to do Y200. And then we'll put this at positive so it's directly above us. So that is above our land. This is the top of our land, I believe. So this is as high as we can go right now. So it won't go any higher. Uh-oh. That is correct, Woke Zombie. We can go above our land, but we can't enter back in. But I mean, in theory, you can have an entire level up here. Plus, you can jump, and you're not touching like a skybox. But if you go off the land, you do plummet. So you would have to have like an invisible barrier as well. Unlimited land. Yeah, characters. I mean, the only problem there is optimization. But if you find out a good way to optimize, such as destroying assets, you know, once you go to a different level. But no blocks, that's correct, Kirtros. So that's the only problem. Luckily, I've made an asset, and I can show you on my main account. It's unfortunately not in Meta Noir. Nice. It's the wall. GG! So I made these utility walls. I think all of them are on like the council account. But essentially they're 256 squares by 256 squares that are then placed next to each other in Vox Edit. And you can make a wall that is literally the size of a 1x1 land. You can make it as tall as you want. You can make it as short as you want. But yeah, you can also make it as wide as you want. And this could serve as your floor or prevent the player from falling off. And then you can also make it its pivot point on the land. And then, of course, you can now put it off the land. Yeah, you can have an infinite 1x1. That's so cool. To just watch people play, like at an airport. Gate and experience for spectators only. Ooh, interesting thought, Escape Room Artist. And Little Legion says it does. It's probably going to get patched. That's true, Little Legion. Well, the platforms could exit, I remember that. And now they do turn back around. In fact, yeah, they did patch that. Do you think that was us that did that? That figured that out? Should I take down the VOD? Do you guys want me to take down the VOD? So nobody can watch this? I'll keep it a secret. Let's see, what else can we do here? Well, unfortunately we can't spawn blocks, so I can't put like water and stuff. But it'd be so cool to have like a winding bridge that goes from one level of your land to the next. The only problem I foresee is like people walking off. It's way too easy to just like die for the rest of forever. Vision X already snitching. No. I'm trying to think of other practical applications we can use for this. We can have an invincible monster. Alright, let's see how monsters interact. So we'll have the, what are the droids? The robots? Yeah, here they are, the defector bots. So we have to have one of these. And again, we're doing the parallels. So you multi-select two objects, you drag your gizmo, so this is called a gizmo, to the edge of the land, then you rotate it again. Now you'll want to position it in a way that'll place the asset where you want it, then you rotate it into place. So I don't want it to be on that particular. We need to be able to let him move. But here's the thing, monster AI can't move without these blocks. So this probably will not work. But I wanted to try anyway. So we'll have a melee enemy. And we'll see if it still responds to us. Yeah, unfortunately without those blocks it can't move. But if it has a ranged attack, it might be able to still attack me. So it has a detection range, and then it looks like there isn't an attack range on this. I think it's predator only. So attack range, we can up. So we'll see if he still interacts with us. It doesn't look like he'll acknowledge us when he's off the land. Okay, so what if I'm off the land with him? I can still attack him, which is worth noting. D-Electronics! What's up? D-Electronics, we're playing games outside of our game. I mean, this would be pretty good for like a mini game. Is that allowed? No, D-Electronics, don't tell us. Let's see if we can add, like, sliding. Sliding might be fun. I'm pretty sure that'll work. What else might work? So, we now know enemies and AIs generally do not work. Can we spawn blocks? There's no way, right? Take your bets, everybody. Alright, before I do it, we're gonna do a, prediction. Okay, so, how do I edit this? Oh, I have to edit it in advance. Alright, I can do that. Manage prediction. Summary. Okay, here we go. So, prediction. Can we spawn blocks outside a 1x1? So 1 is yes, 2 is no. You can also, if you don't want to spend your channel points, just type 1 for yes or type 2 for no. Three is crash. Yeah, you can type 3 if you want. It'll probably crash. Cartros. FaceTime continuum. So while you guys are betting, while you're gambling, I'll set up some interactions. So far, this has been a very fun test day. So I'm glad, Garnican, you prompted all this with your checkpoint
So
questions.
420.
420! So we'll go back to the interact.1. I deleted the previous signs because I'm a dunce. Interact.1. So when we interact with it, it sends out that first message. And so interact by default is when the player walks up to something and hits E on their keyboard. But we can send that message to other things by attaching a message to it. I'll also make interact 2 just in case we have to turn off this. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I guess we'll find out. So it looks like people are saying yes to the 1x1s. I'm not allowed to predict because I have infinite channel points on my channel, so. But it looks like everybody's hoping, or at least assuming, yes, we can. Okay, so interact 2 is going to turn it off if we need it to turn off, or kill it. So I'll do the kill. So this is killing the bot on interact 2. And then we're going to attempt on start and the interact. So we'll go ahead and just have on start and we'll see what happens. D-Electronics, what time is it for you? Don't blame me for any accidents, Garnican says. Nope, Garnican, this is for you. So it did not spawn the blocks. It did not spawn them. It's Garnican's fault. Go West just wants the points. Let's go ahead and try the on receive message.
You know, you make a choice to win, and you win.
You just win.
I'm sorry, winning.
Okay, so now we're testing on the interaction. No blocks, unfortunate. Unfortunate. What else? Well, we can try the void. So let's try voiding. So this would destroy on start, and we'll do on receive message for this. This would destroy the walls here, this bridge. So voids work. The multi does not. So I believe the multi needs like a place for the blocks to be put on, and that's what the 1x1 land is for. But yeah, congratulations to Go West for being the pessimist. Go West, congrats, and buying a coin. Thank you, Go
I'm
West.
so excited.
Woohoo! GG! Which, speaking of, we should probably do a giveaway, huh? Just received a free 7.5K, no problems. Alright, free giveaway is 1x1, or no. Yeah, sure, 1x1. That's the code word. I already said it. So 1x1, that's the code word. My points! So that's a giveaway. Yeah, D-Electronics, I miss Mr. Winning too. He's been doing IRL things, so I hope he's well. Alright, so voids work. Can we use voids for something? Now, a convenient use for this might be to prevent your assets from ever being destroyed. So, for example, I cannot kill this character. Never mind. I can kill this character. But putting your assets literally off the screen, or better yet, having a secret asset off the map that a player has to tag or interact with might be fun. What's your best practice for creating a string of questions? Yeah, one box. That would be asker behaviors that are just kind of like lined up next to each other. This is how I would do it. And you kind of visually structure them. So let's just say you have a question that leads to two questions. So let's say on this asker behavior, you interact with the character and you have answer 1 and you have answer 2. So this would become answer 1, which then has its own two questions. And this one was answer 2, which then has its own two questions. And you link them all through messages. I hope that gives you a better visualization, one boxed, because that's how I would do it. And you just use the message required. No, it's all asker behavior. One boxed, you could also attach the toggle message for increased shenanigans, which I know you love your shenanigans. A health component option to spawn blocks, doesn't it? It has the option to be damaged by blocks in the health component characters. So we have damaging blocks and healing blocks. Shenanigans! Does Daddy even sandbox? Electronics, Daddy does. Now, the void works. What other things can we do from here? We could have a visual effect. Now, let's just say it's snowing. I think the snow works. So we can have snow outside the map, which is already a possibility. So this isn't too big of a thing. But that might clear up some space for your characters, so you're not always like walking through snow. What else? We could put an RNG system out here. So just thinking out loud here, we have a farmer that's killing plants, and if a certain plant is no longer detected or is removed, it can trigger something. Unfortunately, we can't have walking around things, so the farmer idea doesn't work as well. What else? What if we did a replace asset? Okay, I'm using big brain here. Big brain, go bigger. I'm going to do replace asset. That's going to spawn a multi. So the replace asset is going to swap with the bot. This new asset is going to be a multi-behavior that can spawn blocks. Now, I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm saying I'm hopeful. So we'll probably need a third sign for this. This will be interact 3. So this character here will be replaced by a preset that we make. The preset that we make is going to be a multi that spawns water. We'll keep it on start for now, sure. We'll go ahead and save this as water spawner. We'll preset it. Delete it. This character here will respawn or replace as our water. And that's going to be on Interact 1. We don't need the Interact 3 at the moment, it seems. But that'll be the next test. Nicholas Mage, what's up, dude? There's a new VXMB asset? What's that about? You're welcome to drop a link, Nicholas, if you can. Okay, so we're going to swap with an asset. So I've just now replaced that bot with our multi-spawner, and it does not seem to be working. Now, if I take our multi-spawner and we do on message, and it'll be Interact 3. We'll try it again. Just holding out hope here. So my next thought is, does that water actually show up and it's just invisible? So to test that theory, I'm going to make water hurt me. So we'll do damaging blocks. Water. We'll tone this back down to like 2-ish. So now we're going to test to see if the water actually is there. It's just invisible. No, water is not there. Hey, the slide works. Search VXMB in your asset. It's probably some new test feature. Ooh. Take a quick look. Yeah, that might be a you thing. I have had random assets show up in my inventory, though. Okay. Well, multis are not working, and we've kind of exhausted all the possibilities there. I think the best use cases are going to be invisible interactables, such as asker behaviors. We could have like detectors that detect when the player like walks outside. Yeah, the lack of ways to kill the avatar is pretty apparent. Now we can use the same logic. Let's go ahead and bring back the water spawner. And we can perhaps use some multi-synchronized capability. I'm sure we can have birds outside. I don't doubt that. I mean, there's only so much we can do. Let's go ahead and try spawning a basic platform with the replace. Oh, I think I need to have an asset on this. Like a literal asset. Watermelons it is. This will be star replace. Search it in the game maker? Oh, okay, I'll try. Woke Zombie, I assume multi does a check to see if a block is going to be out of bounds. Yeah, that's true, Woke Zombie. I agree with that. That's a good theory. So VX... Oh, these right here. Okay. I see what you're saying, Nicholas. These are... things you can make in Magic of Voxel pretty easily. But from first glance, they're pretty interesting. They're not pixels. Those look to be emissives, but only on like one face. So it's like voxels, but only one face is illuminated? Or I should say two faces, the front and the back. So that gives this effect. That's kind of cool. So only the front and the back faces are illuminated, and so that's not even taking up like any space. That's interesting. Thanks for pointing that out, Nicholas. Cool. Alright, so we're trying our basic platforms. Spawn inside the map even though the multi is outside. Man, I wish we could spawn like one block too. Maybe one day. Right now you can only spawn 3x3s or bigger. Okay, let's test our basic platform. Looks like the replace didn't work. Did I remove the replace? I think I did. So we'll do preset, replace. This will be interact .1. Oh. Well, Little Legion might be happy about that. So if I replaced an asset with a preset that has basic platforming, it doesn't reset back to the front. Now, what about my normal asset? So we'll go to my replace, and I'll make a couple of these. We'll make them go off map here. And I'll also make a few. So we can see how these are supposed to interact with the wall. I mean, they're going off. Little Legion, have you tried this in 0.8? It seems as though I remember in 0.7 they fixed it. So it looks like it's broken again. Quote unquote broken. But yeah, the fly in from outside the map, that's definitely something you couldn't do. And unfortunately, I don't think I can ride it off the map. No, that's not how it works. Alright, I'm gonna roll that giveaway now. Radcon Dad! Winning it. Congratulations. GG! So Mr. Radcon Dad, comrade, not a fad. Aren't you glad? Don't get mad. Or sad. That'd be bad. I owe you 2. GG. So, what else can we test before we start wrapping things up here? Rap God. More like Rap Toddler, but thank you. Yeah, the fly in's pretty good. I'm glad we tested that. Don't drop that. What other components have we not tested yet? None of these will do anything special. Climbable? No, that's not anything special though. Pickable? Can we do anything with that? I don't think so. We already tried enemies, and they couldn't move. And they couldn't even attack us, because they were off the map. Now, you could probably have animations play. So let's say, for example, in Vox Edit, you had a bunch of farmers that were literally walking around in one of their animations. So they walked from the pivot point off, let's say, 5 blocks, bent down, picked something up, walked back. Now you could probably have animations playing. So I'm thinking environment still. Let's just make sure animations are working. So we're going to have one looping that's interruptible. And we have 2 animations that we can cycle between. So we'll do on receive message, T-break, sounds good, Sparky. Gap rod. Escape room artist. What did Ratcon Dad win? A creator coin. So, Joseph, if you want creator coins, I technically owe you quite a few, because you've every time you subscribe, I give a coin as well. And you can buy things, which I updated the form. I did update the form. Hopefully that links to the right form. I'm clicking it. I'm clicking it. That is not the right form. Let me link the right form. That's the old form. We want the new form. This one has pictures. So here's the new form. I'm going to update that link real quick in Dorkbot. But that has all of the pictures that are associated with each of the prizes that you can redeem your coins for. So fantastic. Looks like exclamation point store, exclamation point, what else? CC store, shop. Can you accept that form to accept multiple responses? I can remove you. Did I already redeem your other one? That's right, because you're doing the NFT commission at the moment. So, Tom, I will remove you from this one. And then that way you can do it again. Escape Room Artist, same with you. Sorry about that. Lula Love. I've sent a DM. Wicked You 2, we already solved yours. And Sparky Snickle, I'm working on yours at the moment, so. Cool. I can't see. Try one more time. So, yeah, now you guys can check it out.
Shine, shine, shine.
Shine,
Good
shine, shine.
morning, humans from Earth.
Hey, Irtos, welcome in. So, Panda Pops, I currently owe you 0. Panda, I have the list right in front of me. I currently owe you 0. Although, every time you resubscribe, I do send you a coin. I believe... Yeah, I think we're all caught up, Panda. I would be I would be updating it every time I saw your name, but most people just buy them with the points they earn. Oh yeah, Panda, the 11 month. Basically.
You really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet
Wow.
and tell lies?
I started the giving a coin for resubbing recently. That was probably about 3 months ago. So I wouldn't be sending 11 coins, for example. I would probably send 3 to 5. Iratos! Hope you're doing well. Welcome. So, we're going to be trying these animations here. So we'll do play count. Play count. We'll also make the idle restart. So that'll be a 4th animation. So you have your on start animation, so this is just your flat basic one, but then you interrupt it with other things. We're also going to be making a second version of that basic idle. So the other animations, we'll do detect, and we'll do flee. Now both of those are going to be on playing, so it's going to be interact.1. This one's play on interact.2. And then this last one, we're actually going to set to play on receive message, interact 3. But this one has the interruptible. Now what we'll do is message at end for the other ones. They'll also play interact 3. And so this asset is basically communicating with itself to do a chain of animations, which actually works pretty well ever since 0.8. 0.7, that was never the case. You couldn't send a message to the asset that sent it. Yeah, you just couldn't do it. But now you can. What if you resub off stream? Mr. Furious, if that's the case, do let me know. I know a lot of you are in that boat. There's a couple individuals out there, such as Don Coy. Don Coy, I hope you're doing well. That I have not been able to send coins ever since. So I owe Don Coy like 10 coins. Full house, what's up, Kay? Welcome in. Good Moro. So, yeah, one thing I need to do today is set up a few more bot commands, but you guys should have everything handled now, hopefully. Alright, let's try these animations, though. So, right now, he's combat idle. Then he has the detection, and he goes right back into the combat idle. It looks like I didn't enable the loop. I was right. Man, it feels good to be right. Practical applications, though. I'm very glad we discovered this bug. I just want to find, like, a use for it. Maybe we can have, like, a Thunderdome. I'm sure OG would appreciate this, where we have, like, the bumper cars, and then these go off the map. Maybe? I don't know. That one's doesn't really fit the other animation. And this last one just resets it. Now, those animations we can attach as detect entities. But that doesn't really do anything for us. I was just kind of like demonstrating that the animations themselves still work. And that's a good thing, because that means we can make an environment outside the map that has animations that still work. Now, this particular asset, his animations don't make him move, but that's the idea. So he would have an animation that, you know, he ran one way, then ran the other. And those would all be done in Vox Edit. So there's possibilities there. What else? We already know we can spawn assets outside the map. So that's pretty cool. Like, you can technically build the entire set. So let's try that real quick. We'll do dungeon pillar, prison tower, and prison wall. Cool. So now we're going to parent all these together. We'll do star dungeon. Star dungeon. And we'll just parent everything to that pillar. Whoops, I did it wrong. So now this we're saving as a preset, just for testing. I'm doing these stars for testing purposes. So we'll do star dungeon. And so now we're going to spawn that dungeon. So we'll do preset, star dungeon, and that'll be on interact.1. Let's save it and test it. Oh, you resubbed yesterday, Mr. Furious X? I believe you. I'll write it down. If you have two assets outside bounds, can you jump between them? Yeah, you should be able to, Garnican. We've been able to jump around and move freely outside of our land. But I can do that for a test. It's on auto, Ragon. Well, I appreciate it. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I think I have to rotate it. So this will be 2 rotated. Okay. So that works. Let's go ahead and place it even further out. So it'll be at the top of this bridge here. So we'll do 10, 5, -5, 10. Maybe a little bit further. Sure. No, it's too high. Oh yeah, and then we had to slide on that. Okay. The rabbit sold out. Let's go. I'm excited for the reveal then. I mean, having a walkable building that you can still attack things in, it's pretty cool. And yes, you can jump from asset to asset outside the map. The only problem is if you fall off, you die. But you don't die. You just keep going. Now, is there a way to have a kill switch here? Yes, there is. Cool. So let's make a kill switch. So we're going to use that same logic here. This might be a bit excessive, but I think it's fun. We're going to rotate it out of bounds. So there's our logic asset. And we can still edit it out of bounds, which is nice. So what we'll do is we'll send that kill message if the player goes too far. So we can do message broadcaster or message component. Oddly enough, message broadcasters are kind of redundant now. I don't think they'll ever remove message broadcasters, but speaker components do the same thing now and more. Except message broadcaster, I guess you can toggle the wait before broadcast. But a speaker, that's pretty easy to set up. But yeah, speaker components do more now. This did at one point have more features, such as the range of broadcast, but now that's also able to be done with a speaker component. But the wait before broadcast, I think, is the only thing different. So basically, you can have it starting from when the player enters the game. Whereas the speaker, it has to be triggered by like a detector. But that's what we're going to be using for now, is the speaker. With a detector. It says, you die. And it's going to be when it detects specific tag. Avatar. Wait, respawning outside was fixed in 0.7. Yeah, Nicholas Mage, apparently it's back on the table. Back on the table. So now we're going to have a detection range pretty high. That might be too high. So I would probably have multiple of these, like one for each corner, one for each quadrant. But for now, for our tests, we'll have it about 50. So message being sent is going to be the kill avatar. So if I enter into this yellow space, it'll send out that kill avatar message. And the broadcast will be all. Try it out. Put some assets around the pivot fix so it feels like a massive fall. Ooh. Not sure what you mean. Like a parachute game? So it kind of like slows your descent? So I should die if this detects me. It looks like it did not detect me. That or I didn't fall far enough. We gotta make sure this is working before I continue. So I'll bump up the detection range. We'll try 70. So we'll respawn here. Jump over. Interesting. It's not detecting me. Did I set it up correctly? We have a look at target. I disabled that. We have avatar, so that's what it's looking for. It's detecting. Detection range, I'm going to bump up to max. Message being sent is kill.avatar. Kill.avatar is being received by our health component as the instant death message. Sending all one time. Try it again. Are too fast for the message to kill me? It just killed me just now. I just watched it kill me. So right now the detection range is touching the land. So I'll walk outside, walk back in. Does not appear to be killing me right now. I did watch it respawn though. I think what's happening is I might be exiting that space. So here's what we're looking at right now. When I start the game, we want to see if my character immediately dies. If my character immediately dies, that means the logic detector worked. He did just immediately die. Now, that tells me that this is too large. So we basically want to get to the point where that's not happening. Because if I'm in the radius, which I did not die that time, if I am in the radius, that means it hasn't reset yet. So that's one of the main fallbacks with messages at the moment, is that it's not constantly sending out a message. You have to set out like a duration. So let's try dying again. Interesting. So I don't think it'll detect me. Let's do another test here. I want to see if detection messages work outside the map. So it's going to be a detect entity, specific tag, avatar. The blue kind, the blue avatar. That's what she said. Okay. So, if I get close, it's not able to detect me. If I walk outside, it does still work, so it does still send that message. Let's take it another step further. And I'm going to send out that kill avatar message. And we'll make sure that's working. And then, as another... Like, this one not working is strange to me. But it might just be because the radius is so abnormal that I haven't been hitting it, perhaps. So I haven't died, so that's a plus. If I step outside, this is my new respawn point, so I watched it kill me a second time. It did it again. Let's try this one. So this secondary is either too far, or we did something wrong in the setup. This one's working, so perhaps there is a limit on like how far an asset can be before it stops working. So very peculiar here. We'll make it a smaller distance away from the player. And we'll try again. Oops, that's too small of a detection radius. So we'll go for a 40. No, that'll definitely touch the player. 20. So all I have to do is enter into that yellow area. Okay, so that one worked. I think there is like a distance limit, so let's see if we can find that limit. That's weird. Yeah. Okay. So I think we found a limit here. It seems as though we can't go beyond a certain point where messages will stop working. I'll keep testing. So messages just don't send after a certain point. Yeah, that didn't work. So right now we're roughly 2, 3, 4, maybe like 40 blocks. So about 40 blocks. Cool. Interesting. Maybe big speakers are less consistent? Yeah, that's very possible, Nicholas Mage. It's the collision box. You go too fast so it can't catch you. It's like the flash passing by. I mean, yes, Iratos, but we did get it to work, like, around here. And the momentum had already picked up. So it seems like there might be a potential, like, cap on how far messages can interact outside of a space. Like, I think the land itself is limiting the amount of messages that can be received. So we got this one, got that one. Rotate. So that's a pretty reasonable distance. Like, if I walk over this, it shouldn't trigger. But if I fall, it will. So let's try walking over it first. It's about right here. Doesn't seem to be triggering. Outside the space. Now if I fall, it also doesn't seem to be triggering. And we knew it worked before, so this might be the radius. Because I'm definitely passing through it. Let's try and make it a smaller radius, perhaps. That kill message also might be on like some sort of timer. So I'll go ahead and remove this one. There's a timing issue with distance from the message giver to receiver. Yeah, the ping for sure, Escape from Artist. Okay, so that one's not working. So this might be outside of that radius. Now, if I were to reset this again... What the? That's the bottom of my map, is this 4 area. These 4 blocks here, that's the bottom. So if I close this gap a slight amount more... Should be better. Let's try it. Oh, it detected me already. That one did. So that one did not detect me. Because it's not spitting out the message. Now, I think there is a limit, and we just haven't found the limit yet. So let's make a smaller one that is just outside the radius. We'll delete that one. So again, this is looking for the avatar in a very small space here. So it is currently working. I can see it's shouting the messages. And that is about 8 blocks. So obviously we want that to be a little bit larger. Let's try for a higher number. So that's going to be roughly 15 blocks. So right now it's not detecting me, but if I fall... Interesting. I think it has to detect me on the level that is the bottom of the floor. So the detection has to be able to reach this point in order to detect me, the player. So if I bump this radius up, that would confirm my theory if it would then detect me. So basically, by the time I hit that 4th red block... No. No. However, it did work earlier with a smaller gap between these bottom blocks and my logic. Let's bump up the space a little bit more. So right now it's still not detecting me, so I'm not close enough yet. And it's still not registering me. So I think there is a limit. And I believe we already found it. It's roughly like 8 blocks outside of the land itself. Overall, fun test today. So thanks everybody for watching. Is Pickaxe Master live yet? We'd be rating them on their Lucky Wednesdays. Write that down, write that down. Landowners, get your questions ready for tomorrow's Ask Me Anything. Ooh, thank you, Tom, for the announcement. It does appear that Pickaxe Master is live, so we're going to be sending a raid their way. I just want to confirm that the 8 blocks just about does work. So this is roughly 16 blocks between them, but when I turn it, it basically splits it in 2. That's probably like closer to 10. And so I'm going to drop that radius back down. We had it at 10, I think. We'll go 15 for good measure. Still no, huh? You guys might be right with the velocity stuff. Let's see if I can at least trigger it. Like, I'm still entering into the space. So it should still... Yeah, it still triggers. We just saw it trigger. But now it's not triggering again. Okay, there it goes. So right now it's detecting me on top of these platforms. So I think momentum might have something to do with this. So it's not able to detect momentum. It doesn't seem like it. Alright, cool stuff. would be a problem if you could turn a 1 by 1 to a 100 and 100. I mean, the crazy thing is it with this that we've discovered today, it's possible. Difficult, but possible. You can keep building off of your land. I mean, in all practicality, you might be able to get, you know, like, in a good environment. Like, you could totally be in, let's say, jungle ruins, and, like, the entire surrounding outside land is now going to be, like, jungle with animated characters and avatars and animals. And you could even have, you know, some cool interactive things hidden within that jungle, but on the outside, so the player doesn't even think to do it. It's only the really curious players that'll be rewarded. But yeah, just fun thoughts. Thanks everybody for watching. Shout out to all my streamers out there. You know who you are. I know Fred and Ferd's been hitting the grind, so do check out Fred and Ferd. Enjoy your day, Nuke Skywalker. Thank you. Mine. Oh, wow. It says like I have to wait 2 minutes before doing another shout out. RIP! But yeah, we're going to start a raid up. Thank you so much, everyone. Vivox, I'm your neighbor now. Get over it.
Love you.
Same with the council. Woo! Have a great day, everyone. Can't stay here. Caratros, thank you. And yeah, Garnican.
Love you all, beautiful chat people.
Yeah, beautiful chat people. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Fred, K, Go West, Mosquita, Caratros, Fred and Ferd. Play game for fun. Take care. Vivox, see ya. Little Legion, peace out. Nuke, have a great one. Hoddle Hill, much love to you, Hoddle. Wicked, you too, have a woohoo of a day. Sparky Snickle, may your day be an 11. Thanks again, Garnican, for prompting the stream. Mr. Fierce X, have a good one. I'll send you that coin. 9A7A, thank you. Happy half day. 11. Bye, everybody. Blue Tulip, see ya. Sayonara. Pew 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 pew.